To gauge the intelligence of a ruler, the first and most revealing method is to examine the company they keep, the advisors, allies, and confidants who surround them. A leader's inner circle is a mirror of their judgment, foresight, and ability to navigate the complexities of power. As Niccolò Machiavelli, the sharp-minded observer of human nature, understood, true intelligence in leadership is not merely a matter of personal virtue or intellect, but of strategic discernment in choosing those who amplify and protect one's influence. Let's be clear from the outset. Kindness, while noble, is not a golden ticket to success in this world. If you hold fast to the belief that simply being a good person will pave the way to triumph, you're tethered to a comforting but dangerous illusion. Deep down, you already sense this truth, even if you hesitate to face it. Reflect on your own experiences. How many times have you felt overlooked, dismissed, or manipulated? How often have you poured your heart into doing the right thing, only to find yourself ignored, sidelined, or worse, exploited? Society teaches us that goodness is inherently rewarded, that honesty and integrity will always prevail in the end. But the stark reality is far less forgiving. The world does not automatically reward virtue. Instead, it elevates those who master the art of wielding their virtues strategically. This is the essence of Machiavelli's insight, a truth that cuts through idealism to reveal the mechanics of power. Machiavelli, in his seminal work The Prince, saw human nature for what it truly is, a complex tapestry woven with threads of self-interest, unpredictability, and when circumstances demand, ruthless pragmatism. He did not romanticize humanity. He dissected it with surgical precision. His central argument is both sobering and empowering. Virtue, when divorced from strategy, becomes a liability. Goodness, without the shield of awareness, is a trap waiting to ensnare the naive. Pause and consider your own life. How many times have you fallen into this trap? How often have you acted with pure intentions, only to find your efforts unappreciated or twisted against you? Now, turn your gaze to those you admire, the individuals who have risen to positions of influence, wealth, or respect. Did they reach those heights through unblemished altruism? Rarely, if ever. Their success stems not from pure intentions, but from a keen understanding of the rules of the game, a game where morality is not a rigid boundary, but a versatile tool. The distinction between a leader and a pawn lies in this critical ability, knowing when to display virtue and when to cloak it, when to extend kindness and when to hold it in reserve. Your struggle is not that you are good, it's that you've assumed others operate by the same moral compass. They don't. The world is teeming with predators who masquerade as allies, opportunists with a keen nose for naivety, and without realizing it, you've likely been an easy mark. Herein lies Machiavelli's revolutionary offering, the concept of intelligent kindness. This is not a call to abandon your values or descend into ruthless ambition. Rather, it's an invitation to marry your compassion with cunning awareness. Intelligent kindness demands that you become a student of human behavior, learning to read people's motives, anticipate their intentions, and discern when to extend trust and when to fortify your defenses. It's about navigating the world with eyes wide open, recognizing that not everyone shares your principles or deserves your unguarded goodwill. Machiavelli famously declared that it is better to be feared than loved, if you cannot be both, a provocative statement that forces us to confront our choices. Ask yourself, what have you chosen? To be loved, to be accepted, to be seen as harmless, and what has that choice yielded? Not the respect you crave, not the influence you deserve. Instead, it has likely left you vulnerable, with others secure in the knowledge that they can exploit your kindness without fear of consequence. The harsh truth is that kindness without strength does not inspire admiration. It invites manipulation. It signals to others that you are a resource to be used, not a force to be reckoned with. This is not to say that goodness itself is a flaw. Far from it. The problem arises when goodness is mistaken for passivity, when kindness is wielded without discernment. Machiavelli's philosophy does not advocate for cruelty or betrayal, but for a pragmatic balance between ethics and strategy. To thrive in a world that is often indifferent to purity of heart, You must learn to pair your compassion with sharp judgment. Imagine a leader who is endlessly generous, but fails to recognize deceit in their advisors. Such a leader is not noble. They are vulnerable. Now picture a leader who is kind but astute, who offers generosity only when it serves a purpose and withdraws it when it risks exploitation. This is the essence of intelligent kindness, a deliberate, calculated approach to virtue that protects you while advancing your goals. Consider the dynamics of power in your own life. How many times have you extended help, only to be met with ingratitude? How often have you trusted someone, only to discover their loyalty was a facade? These are not isolated incidents, but patterns rooted in a fundamental misunderstanding of human nature. People are driven by self-interest, and while some may share your values, many will not hesitate to capitalize on your openness. Machiavelli's insight is that you must learn to see the world as it is, not as you wish it to be. This means cultivating the ability to read subtle cues, the tone of a conversation, the hesitation in a promise, the ambition behind a smile. It means anticipating how others might use your kindness against you and taking steps to protect yourself. Intelligent kindness is not about becoming cold or cynical. It's about becoming wise. It's about recognizing that trust is a currency to be spent carefully, not squandered on those who have not earned it. To embody this principle, you must also master the art of perception. Machiavelli understood that power is not just about what you do, but how you are seen. A leader who is kind, but appears weak, will be dismissed. A leader who is virtuous but projects strength will command respect. Perception is the lens through which others interpret your actions, and in a world driven by appearances, it is as critical as reality itself. If you allow others to perceive you as harmless, you invite exploitation. If you cultivate an image of strength, you deter those who might otherwise prey on you. This is why Machiavelli's advice to be feared rather than loved, if necessary, is so potent. It's not about cruelty, but about ensuring that your kindness is respected, not taken for granted. So, where does this leave you? It leaves you with a choice: to continue playing by the rules you were taught, rules that equate goodness with automatic reward, or to embrace a more strategic approach to your virtues. Intelligent kindness is not a betrayal of who you are, it's an elevation of it. It's about ensuring that your goodness serves you, not just others. It's about learning to navigate a world that is not inherently fair, where predators lurk behind friendly faces, and where naivety is a liability you cannot afford. Machiavelli's teachings are not a call to abandon morality, but a blueprint for surviving and thriving in a world that demands both heart and cunning. The question is not whether you can remain good, it's whether you can be good in a way that commands respect, protects your interests, and ensures your influence. Will you cling to the fantasy that kindness alone is enough, or will you embrace the power of intelligent kindness to shape your own destiny? Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you should abandon goodness. I'm saying you need to stop equating goodness with passivity. The world doesn't reward the just. It rewards the shrewd. True virtue isn't submission. It's the ability to balance ethics with pragmatism. Machiavelli knew that perception is everything. It's not just about who you are, it's about how others see you. If you seem weak, you'll be treated as weak. If you project strength, you'll command respect. How many times have you swallowed your voice to keep the peace, only to realize that silence cost you more than speaking up would have? This isn't about cruelty, it's about strategy, knowing when to speak, when to hold back, when to advance, and when to retreat. Kindness can be your greatest asset if you wield it wisely. If you don't, it becomes your downfall. Many good people make the same mistake. They think the world values purity of heart. It doesn't. It values power, confidence, and the ability to make tough decisions. Kindness is only respected when paired with authority. Without power, kindness is irrelevant. Machiavelli would tell you, don't be a lamb in a world of wolves. Don't let your morality make you a servant. True virtue isn't blind compliance. It's intelligence. It's not about adapting to survive. It's about shaping the game to your advantage. So ask yourself, how much longer will you let the world dictate your worth? How much longer will you allow yourself to be a victim of your own naivety? I'm not asking you to stop being good. I'm telling you to be good in a way that benefits you. Learn to navigate the shadows when necessary. Know when to smile and when to bare your teeth. Because the world isn't fair, but if you learn its rules, you can turn them in your favor. Machiavelli didn't write The Prince to teach you to be ruthless. He wrote it to teach you how to survive. Now tell me, will you keep clinging to the illusion that kindness is enough, or will you start practicing true intelligence? This brings us to a concept few understand: the power of perception. It's not enough to be strong. You must look strong. It's not enough to be smart. You must project intelligence. Because in this world, reality matters less than what others believe about you. Think about it. How many times have you seen an incompetent person rise while a capable one stays stuck? How often do manipulators thrive while the honest and hard-working go unnoticed? That's no accident. People don't follow the good or the just. They follow the one who appears in control, the one who masters their image, the one who, whether they know everything or not, acts as if they do. And this is where so many fail. They think truth alone will set them apart, that talent will speak for itself. But the world doesn't work that way. The world doesn't reward those who are right. It rewards those who know how to present their truth persuasively. Machiavelli understood this better than anyone. It's not just about who you are, it's about what others perceive you to be. Perception is everything. An insecure leader, no matter how skilled, won't inspire confidence. A hard-working employee who doesn't make themselves seen will never be promoted. A person with immense potential but no presence will never be valued. That's why success isn't just about talent. It's about mastering the narrative of you, controlling your image, directing the attention of others. This isn't deception, it's influence. Because in any social interaction, people don't see reality as it is. They see it through filters of bias, emotion, and assumption. And the question is, are you letting those filters work against you, or are you using them to your advantage? If you're good, but seem weak, they will treat you as weak. If you're just but seem soft, they will trample over you. If you're talented but seem unsure, you will be ignored. It's that simple. The ability to control perception is what separates those who lead from those who are led. And now we step into an even deeper truth: the power of information. Have you ever noticed how the most powerful people always seem to know something others don't? How they always hold the upper hand? That's because they understand one fundamental rule: information is power, and power is never given away for free. Naive people believe absolute honesty is a virtue. They think sharing everything they feel and know is the right way to live. But in reality, the one who speaks too freely gives away their advantage. Machiavelli said a leader must know how to conceal their true intentions, not to deceive, but to protect themselves in a world where everyone is looking for leverage. The person who reveals too much becomes vulnerable. So I ask you, will you keep living as an open book, allowing others to write your story, or will you take control of your own narrative and start shaping your destiny? Would you rather remain an open book, easily read, manipulated, and taken advantage of, or will you become a strategist, someone who controls their image, guards their information, and masters unpredictability to their advantage? Because kindness without strategy isn't virtue, it's an invitation to be devoured. The world doesn't bend its rules for you, so stop playing by the rules you wish existed and start mastering the ones that do. Do this well, and for the first time, you won't just survive the system, you'll learn to control it. Now let's talk about one of the most overlooked weapons of power: strategic distance. Many assume power comes from constant presence, from always being seen, always being heard, but the reality, those who are too available lose their value. Scarcity creates desire. Absence amplifies impact. Think about it. Why do some people command respect simply by entering a room, while others, no matter how hard they try, never seem to command authority? The difference isn't effort, it's perception. Machiavelli warned that a leader should never be too accessible, not out of arrogance, but because overfamiliarity breeds contempt. When you give too much, your time, your effort, your kindness, people don't appreciate it. They expect it. They take it for granted. And this isn't just about power. It's about life, relationships, careers, friendships. When you're always available, you stop being a person of value. You become a resource. So ask yourself, how many times have you given everything, only to be ignored? How many times have you been there for others, only to be forgotten when you needed them? This isn't bad luck. It's human nature. What is abundant is ignored. What is scarce is prized. That's why you must learn to control your presence, regulate your availability, make your absence felt, make your presence matter. Don't respond immediately. Don't be within reach for everyone. Let people notice when you're gone. Let them feel the weight of your presence when you return. The moment you learn to disappear at the right time is the moment people start searching for you. Most fear stepping back. They think if they disappear, they'll be forgotten. But here's the brutal truth. If your only value comes from constant presence, you were never truly valuable. The ones who leave an impact aren't those who shout the loudest, but those who master silence, who know when to step back and when to return. Look at history's great figures. The real players don't exhaust themselves in every battle. They appear when it matters, and when they do, the world takes notice. This brings us to another critical principle, emotional control. This is where most people fail. They think power comes from aggression, from forcing their will, from reacting loudly. But Machiavelli knew the truth. Real power comes from mastering your emotions, because the moment you lose control, you lose the game. Think back to the last time someone provoked you, the moment you reacted in anger, in frustration. Who was really in control? Not you. The person who provoked you was. The second you react, they own you. This is why the strongest are not those who strike first, but those who cannot be provoked, the ones who remain calm while others unravel. It doesn't matter if it's in a negotiation, an argument, or a power play. The one who maintains control always wins, because controlling your emotions means controlling how others perceive you. Machiavelli understood, true power doesn't come from being the loudest in the room. It comes from being the most composed. And when you master this, you become untouchable. People will try to break you, to trigger a reaction, but if they can't shake you, they can't control you. Now the final key, the power of strategic patience. Most people crave instant results. They want success now, respect now, power now. But the true masters of the game know that victory belongs to those who wait for the perfect moment. The world is full of people who rush in blindly, who act without thinking, who react instead of calculating. But those who truly hold power, they observe, they analyze, they wait. Think of a hunter. A hunter doesn't fire at the first movement. They wait, measure, anticipate. Then, when the time is right, they strike. This is power. It's not about acting first. It's about acting at the right moment. Machiavelli said fortune favors those who can adapt, not those who act recklessly. Success doesn't belong to those who move the fastest. It belongs to those who move with purpose. And now I ask you, are you the kind who rushes in without thinking, or are you the kind who waits, calculates, and strikes with precision? Because in this world, power doesn't belong to the strongest. It belongs to the smartest, to those who control perception, information, distance, emotions, and time. Master these, and you will stop being a pawn. You will become a player. The world will still be ruthless, but now you'll know how to navigate it. But here's what separates those who survive from those who dominate: the ability to become an anomaly in the system. Because now you know, now you see how the game works, and now the choice is yours. Will you apply this knowledge, or will you return to ignorance? Because power doesn't come from what you know, it comes from what you do, and small actions over time change everything. Small actions shape perception. Small actions make you someone who can no longer be ignored, because the world doesn't remember those who simply existed. It remembers those who knew how to play the game. And now tell me, are you ready to play?